Jai Gurudev.
Jai
So
Gurudev.
today we have Marcel from Switzerland with us, and he's associated with Art of Living since 1989. He's our advanced course, silence program, retreat course teacher, and there are so many amazing stories about his time with Gurudev, how he met Gurudev, and how he grew on this path with under the blessing of Gurudev. So, but one more thing is Marcel is an amazing singer. Marcel, can we start this interaction with a beautiful song? Any one of your choice?
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Or a
yeah,
Davy song, probably a Davy song.
yeah.
I'll sing a Davy song. Durge, hey Durge, Durge, Durge Maha. Durge, hey Durge, Durge, Durge Maha. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Durge, 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 Durge Maha. Durge, 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 Durge Ma. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Durge, hey Durge, Durge, Durge Maha. Durge, hey Durge, Durge, Durge Maha. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Om Devi Ma, Devi Ma, Devi Ma. Durge, hey Durge, Durge, Durge Maha.
Beautiful. And Marcel, Switzerland is one of my favorite countries. I visited it, and we had a lot of fun time there. It's very beautiful. So, from outer beauty, uh, how this quest started to find out the inner beauty, how it started. Were you always spiritually inclined, or how was
Yes,
it?
yeah, I think even before I met Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji, I was already searching for this knowledge, for a master, for spirituality, for a meaningful life, and for a way how I can contribute to the society and to the world.
So, you were a music teacher back then when you
At that
did the
time,
course.
at that time, I was, yes, a little bit, but I was mainly studying. I was still a student of music on classical guitar at that time, and I was already searching for this knowledge, for a meaningful life, for someone who also could guide in this in these questions about our consciousness.
Okay. So, how was the experience of your first course then? How you got introduced to Art of Living?
This is an amazing story. I can talk about the story when I did the course, but I also can talk about the story when I met Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji. I would say I don't know what would have happened with my life if this would not have happened. This is just amazing. somehow I would say I felt lost. I knew that I was in search of this knowledge, but I didn't know and I couldn't uh, relate to nobody who could guide me on that, on this knowledge. So suddenly one day in our university, it is called the Academy of Music in Basel, I saw Gurudev's picture and I was so touched. Just the picture, him itself, the way he looked in that picture touched me deep in my heart. I really felt this is love. This is a man who is just spreading love and just want to contribute something without any condition. So just by seeing that picture, I was immediately convinced this is the person I want to see. So on that day, when he gave a lecture in that city where I was, actually I went every day to check whether the picture was still there and the talk is going to happen, whether there is any change. So on the day when the talk the talk happened, I had to rush out of a meeting, and when I started to go to the place, I remembered the area where the talk would happen, but I forgot the address. So I was thinking, oh my God, if I go back to the university to check the address, I will be too late. So I just went by intuition. I reached that area, and it was such a strong feeling. I immediately knew it is there. And I went to that place in the direction where I saw this window. And I saw his picture in front of the door. And I knew, okay, it is here. But the door was already closed. I had the impression, because before I went there, I was reading the lines below that picture, and it was saying that it is a spiritual master coming to the city. And I was expecting a huge crowd. I was thinking he will not even notice me. So I was standing there in front of the door, which was closed, and I was surprised. Did they already started? And very silently, I opened the door, and there was only Gurudev, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, sitting there in front of the stage. So I went into the hall very silently. I remember it was a very serene atmosphere. And like you would just meet a holy man. Suddenly, in this reality, in this modern world, it appeared like this. I went there. I sat there in front in the first row. I was looking at him. He had his eyes closed. Probably sometimes he looked a little bit. I do not know. And we have been sitting there, I don't know for how long time. But there was such a serenity, such a peace, and such a calmness that I was just fulfilled. We have been sitting there just silently. He didn't say anything. After a while, he just opened a little bit his eyes and asked me if I'm happy. And I said, yes, I'm happy. And they asked him also, and you, are you also happy? And he said, yes, of course. Then he asked me if I'm playing the guitar. I said, yes. And I asked him also if he's also playing an instrument. He's playing the Veena. And that was my introduction to the art of living. He asked me then if I'm coming for a course. I didn't know that the course is going to happen. I said, yes, of course, I'm coming. And the next day the course started. Just like this, I met him. And I immediately knew I found him. I found a man who knows about our consciousness and who knows about the secrets of his life, of this life, and someone who is able to give the knowledge and the techniques which the world needs today to transform to a better world. I remember when the talk was over, I went out of the hall. A little bit later, he went also there. I was standing there outside, and then also he came out, and I was waving to him, and he was just waving back. It was so beautiful. Next day, we had the course. I went also there, and I didn't know what was it. I thought I will have another meeting with Gurudev, and there have been 10 more people coming to that session. And I was at that time a very introverted person. I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't go in touch with nobody. So I was a little bit irritated that other people have been also there in that course. And so the course started, and Gurudev himself was teaching the first day and introduced the first point of this wonderful knowledge which is in the happiness program. And I had a beautiful experience with this breathing, and also, and that was so surprising, I was really surprised after the course, I suddenly could open up and I felt the belongingness with the others. I was so surprised. What is that? Before that, I felt so isolated, so very alone. And I didn't want it actually to come out. But after that, I felt so good opening up and feeling the connection and the belongingness with other people. And then we had the second day. On the second day, one of his teachers was conducting the day. And after that, we have been invited to someone's house where Gurudev was staying. And the afternoon session, Gurudev himself was conducting. That was also very beautiful. We did all these processes, which you might probably know in the happiness program, or if you have not done yet, just do that. It is such an amazing experience, which really brings to you this basic knowledge, these basic tools to move on this path of spirituality. And then after that, he was just telling to me, yes, you can come then to the advanced course a few months later. And I was so touched. What? I can already go to an advanced course. Wow. So I went also to that advanced course, and that was it. Just, I have to say that since then, I'm practicing this knowledge. I'm practicing these techniques. And I can really say, after 30 years of practicing them, it works. It's really worth doing.
We should write a book. The way you narrate the stories, with the soft voice you're speaking and the way you're narrating the story, so amazing. Wow, so sweet. Yeah. So then that was your first meeting with Gurudev, and then you went for advanced course. Then you kept on meeting him, or the journey started?
Yes, I kept on meeting him. I was actually going to all the courses which happened in Europe. I took my bag and I went to the train, and I just went to all the places. Whenever I could meet him, I went there to the different places. And yeah, I remember one story. Shall I tell?
Yes, please.
Uh, yes, I went again to one of the courses in the north of Germany, and I was traveling in a way that I took everything with myself, so that after the course, it doesn't matter where I go, whether I will continue traveling wherever he goes or whatever. I didn't know. So after that course, it was also an advanced course. I didn't had any plans. I also didn't know where Gurudev would go and whether I could have the chance to also travel with him. So, but there was a group from Russia, and they had a bus. They came with the bus, and one of them asked me if I would come with them to Warsaw in Poland, where Gurudev is going to have a talk the next evening. And I said, yes, of course, good, I'm coming with you. So I went with that bus. It was also a very interesting experience because just at that time, you could travel to Poland without having a visa. It just opened, the borders just opened. And on the border, I was a little bit confused. I didn't know whether I can really pass through the border or I have to go back. So, but I could also go with them to Warsaw. Then I was thinking, okay, let me just sit on that talk. And after the talk, I will return back home. I was traveling like this, that I had only that much money with me that I could just go back home. So there, uh, it was also a beautiful talk and so inspiring people there, so enthusiastic also. Everybody so fresh and new in meeting Gurudev. And after that talk, next morning, some of the friends asked me if I would also come with them to say goodbye to Gurudev on the airport. And I said, of course, yes, I'm going to come with you. We are going to wave to him, and then I will go back home. So on the airport, I was there. Then uh, we have been greeting Gurudev, and somebody was asking me, are you going also to Manchester? And I said, I don't know. Actually, I don't have a ticket. I didn't plan anything. Then again, somebody asked me, are you going to Manchester? I said, no, I have no plans. No. And more people have been asking me, are you going there? Are you going there with Gurudev? And I didn't know about that. And I was so confused that when Gurudev came to the airport, he was coming out of, he's coming into the airport. I just had a chance to see him. And then I was so confused. And then I was asking him, am I going to Manchester? And he said, yes. Oh, then, then I had to run and get a ticket. And after I got the ticket, no, I didn't have any seat on the flight on which Gurudev was flying, so I had to take the next flight. And Gurudev's suitcase was missing. And everybody was looking for Gurudev's suitcase, but then Gurudev said, okay, no, don't worry, Marcel will take the suitcase in the next flight. So I was thinking, okay, at least I have a reason to go there. I have to take Gurudev's suitcase and bring it to him. But the suitcase came afterwards. And they had the suitcase. Okay, then just before they went into the airport, I realized that I do not know where to go. And somehow Gurudev realized this and told me, oh, take the phone number of one of the devotees who will know where I have to go. Okay, so I had only the phone number with me, and I was going to the next flight, which had a stop in between. And I was thinking, okay, during that stop, I will call that number and I will ask where shall I go. And the whole time during that stop, I couldn't reach the person. Nobody picked up the phone. Finally, I was in the plane. It went to Birmingham, I think, or to Manchester. I don't remember. And I was on the plane. It was evening, late evening, and reached the airport. And I knew, okay, so now it's too late. I will not reach that person on that phone. I do not know where to go. What shall I do then? I was already thinking, okay, I have to search for a youth hostel or whatever. Uh, and one thing was also interesting at that time, I didn't speak English. And it was in England, so nobody would understand. I would not have the chance how to communicate. So I landed there, and I want to go out of the airport, and suddenly somebody's coming and running to me and asking me, "Are you Marcel?" And I said, "Yes, I am Marcel." "Yes, please come. Gurudev is waiting in the car." And I was surprised. What? They're still there? And we came to that car, and then they told me that they have been already on their way to the venue, and suddenly Gurudev told them, "Marcel will not know where to go. We have to go back." So they turned back, and I was so touched, and I was, oh my God, because of me they all came back. And yeah, then I knew Gurudev is aware of what is happening with those who are with him. Yes.
Now we want to know what happened in the Manchester.